Well, welcome back, everyone. And I'm doing this. We're doing this today, Pam and I. From Pam is in the cosmos, and I'm back at my little office in southern Utah, our home here. So that hints the weird clutter, you know. And if you think it's weird up there, well, it is kind of. There's an old German helmet from like World War I, and an American helmet from like World War II. And then there's a Buddha in the middle, you know. And to me, it means how these two mortal enemies, you know, that just fought these bloody wars are now good friends, you know, and families, and really stably that way. So, you know, hey, things can change, things can get better, and hate can be transformed into respect and love and camaraderie. So anyway, yeah, today we're going to do a very brief, it's the briefest meditation we've ever done. And this is from a larger work called Energy Flows. Let's see how many tracks are in this. Oops. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, I have to scroll down because our app, man, we got so much great stuff in here. Energy Flows. Here we go. And there's 7 tracks, and basically they do go work through the chakras or energy centers. And this is done by Colette Baron-Reid, and of course the entrainment is done by us, but she's really a remarkable woman, and you know, you'd be do yourself well to get this tracks and practice with it, and also go to our Deep Transformation website, where we had a conversation with her, me and Roger Walsh, and she just transmits, you know, healing, vibrant, beautiful energy. You know, she's just a fire plug for God or something. So anyway, this is really, it's only like 11 minutes. So let's get down and assume the position that, you know, you can, and get your spine as straight as possible. Don't slump. And if you can cross your knees, I got a bum knee from playing a lot of tennis. One of the joys of getting older. But anyway, there we go. And yeah, so without further ado, let us rock this thing, and we'll see you shortly on the other side.
This is Energy 3. Take a deep breath and relax your body and settle in to listen to my voice. And imagine a beautiful, bright yellow light begins to form at your feet and moves up and around you like the most beautiful spiral of lemon yellow energy, swirling all around you. tingling across your skin, filling you up with light and energy. I am a unique spark of the divine. I am here to be that sparkling flame. Sparkling flame. Unique and beautiful.
Well, uh, hope you like that. I haven't done that in a long time. It's like, really? It's good stuff. That's Colette Baron-Reid. Check out our conversation with her on the Deep Transformation podcast that I do with Roger Walsh, and Vanessa's part of the team, and Heidi, who's not here today. So, yeah, it was really good. In my meditation this morning, I really went through some darkness. Okay, and if you've ever done that in your meditation, it doesn't mean your meditation is not working. It means your meditation is doing just fine. Thank you much. Has anybody ever experienced that when they're using this technology? I mean, gang here, that you just feel this real pain and real sadness, and just, it's like the pain of the world. Well, good. Maybe it's just my karma. Anyway, but I was thinking about that, and in the story of Jesus, and whatever you think about, Jesus, whether he was an actual historical figure or blah blah blah, it doesn't matter. But the story is a story of great power. And one time Ken Wilber said about Christianity, says it will always be there because the story is so great. It's just so compelling. And at the last part of it in the Gospels, of course, he's crucified, and the interpretation of what was going on there is that he was taking on all the pain and all the hurt of the world, all of ours, from the past, present, and future. And it certainly can feel that way sometimes when you're, when you open yourself up to what's going on, because as my friend Jeff Salzman says, evolution is beautiful, but it's not pretty. I think we're going through a really fast evolutionary time on the planet right now, and we will feel the effects in ourselves because we're all little holograms. We're all hooked up to this, and we contain the all. So the practice is to be with it, and as Jesus on the cross is passing, in one of the versions, he's quoted as saying, my God, why hast thou forsaken me? And that's what it feels like. But that's just a passage. It's an initiation into the light. And if you try to bypass that death, that darkness, that suffering, it's really a problem. It causes a lot of problems. But if we learn that the darkness is actually a grace, it's a gift from God to grow us and deepen us and transform us. It transforms our relation to that darkness and pain. And one of the things I've learned over the years of my practice is when it starts coming on, it's not like, I mean, I remember thinking that, God, this is a bad track. I'm just feeling more and more pain. No, it was a really good track. It's really bringing up stuff. And in that suffering, in that darkness, in that despair, both individual and collective take on, there's tremendous energy for transformation. And then, of course, in the story of Jesus, that happens. He's on the cross. It's like, my God, one of the most miserable ways to die you can imagine, and everything goes on in the story. But then he dies, and then the story goes on. He goes into the underworld for 3 days, and there's not a lot of information about what happened down there. But some stories says he was helping out the people that got stuck in hell, if you will, got stuck in that dark place. And then he came back. And when he came back, he was resurrected. He was transformed, so that a lot of the disciples barely recognized him. He was just, this luminescence. And that is a myth, and I use that in the Campbellian sense, the Joseph Campbell sense. Not at all, that's just a myth. It's like a fake, made-up story. No, it's a transmitory, spiritual teaching that confers great transformational power if you work with the story and you work with that. And it's like, I don't understand it. Well, it's not supposed to be easy, but if you work with it and you allow, and you start seeing how that is a way for each one of us to awaken to our own deepest self, Christhood, you could say, to be Christed. I've heard actually said before that we actually become the light that we were seeking in the darkness, and that ain't bad. And and then we can be who we're supposed to be and do what we're supposed to do. And it's very important in times of great challenge and darkness and suffering right now. And I'm very connected to the Ukraine and the people that are there, are going through that, and that are losing their country, losing family members, and absolutely innocent, didn't do anything at all to deserve this invasion and this destruction of their country. And so anyway, that's very real for me. And I process a lot of that stuff in my work in myself and my meditation. And hopefully I can, come back and go through the resurrection and that rebirth. And I think that is just a process that just goes on and on, this purification. And how do we become purified? By just accepting the pain, accepting the struggle, accepting the sorrow, accepting the darkness, and blessing it. Saying, okay, teacher, here I am, do in me what needs to be done. And if you listen to the other talk, Christopher Bass on deep transformation, it's very inspiring. And he's a PhD, professor of religion, I believe, and tenured, which means he made a grade, and he taught for many years. But he also did 73 high dose LSD trips over a 10-year period, very controlled, very responsibly. And he somewhere a lot was being revealed to him, and he said, he got the message that this is not just for you. So you better write it down, which he did. And it took him like 10 years to write from his notes to create the work. And I think it's called LSD and the mind of the universe. But one of the things he says that kept being brought up is that he would go through these periods of purification where he would go through different dark, hell landscapes and all these things. And after a while, he began to not only accept them, but he began to welcome them, because he knew that that when he would come through it, there would be incredible expansion and a purification of consciousness and inner God realization, if you will. So yeah, so just the purification continues. And one of his things, and the reason I like him a lot, because I think he's a very humble, brilliant man, very courageous too. But a lot of the stuff that that was revealed to him is stuff that I've been learning myself. Maybe not with the same granularity, but nothing was not. Oh yeah, I got it. I remember that. I was taught that lesson before, and he says we never go away. Your little individual soul self actually is one of the crowning achievements of the universe, and it is not meant to be destroyed. And enlightenment doesn't mean it goes poof and you're no longer there and you're off the wheel. Not at all. But the self keeps getting purified and purified, and it becomes, as he says in one point, it is not separation. It is not individuality that is a problem, but it's separation. And when we suffer the most is when we're in those places where we feel our separation from God, as Jesus said on the cross as he was dying. My God, why hast thou forsaken me? But if we stay with that process, we are not left alone. Okay, we are not alone, and that's pretty cool. You're not alone. There's a presence there that you are part of, that not only honors who and what you are, but it connects you and loves you, but it connects you to everything and everyone, in time, out of time, beyond time, all universes, all that stuff. So there we go. I think that's probably enough for today. So anyway, love you guys. Thank you for being here with us again, and keep working on yourselves. All right. That is the thing that we can do. We can take responsibility to train ourselves in our spiritual practices, and our physical practices, and our intellectual work, and our therapy, and working on our knots and stuff that we have inside. All that stuff can become transformed and make us better human beings, more compassionate and more capable of service. Okay.